Elden Ring, Breath of the Wild, and Simulator Rendezvous. These games are what I'd call modern classics. They are games that defined the modern age of gaming and will forever be remembered as timeless masterpieces. And today, we're talking about another one of these games. Let's get started. Ladies and gentlemen, I grew up watching cowboy movies from the 40s, which for a kid born in 99, that's just, for lack of a better word, fucking weird. But it did really make me fall in love with the Old West, to the point of obsession. As a side note, I recently went back and rewatched some of the movies that I used to watch when I was a kid, and there were so many times where I was just like, oh, wow, that's fucking racist. Like, it wasn't hard R racism, right? But it was just that kind of 40s racism that everybody was chill with. Anyway, questionable upbringing and parental guidance aside, you can see why Red Dead Redemption was my favorite game when I was a kid and why 2 was just a huge deal for me. And I'm gonna say it now, it's a goddamn masterpiece. And I mean, come on, who's surprised? It's Rockstar. They never disappoint. I mean, as long as they aren't suing someone or making a remake or suing people. They really like suing people. The point is, they release a new game every 10 years, and they never usually miss with that. In fact, I don't think they ever have. Now, I do want to keep this review short and spoiler-free, so without going into too much detail, the story revolves around the Van der Linde gang, and it is fucking awesome. It's kind of one of those rare cases where I'm not really able to point out anything problematic with the game. It's pretty much flawless, at least as far as the story goes. The characters are incredibly well written, and they created such a great protagonist that it makes one of my all-time favorite game characters seem lame in comparison. John Marston is basically Wish Arthur Morgan, and I don't like it, but it's definitely true. This game also has over 20 hours worth of cutscenes in it, which is just astonishing to me. I mean, granted, that's counting story and side quests, which there are a lot of them. Now, story aside, I am a gameplay first kind of guy, and even if you completely remove the story, I would still 100% recommend it. For example, the story is one of the best in gaming history, but I've only played it through once. This is because the game has such a well-built and convincing world that I'll happily live in it for 100+ hours without touching the story. Seriously, this is one of the most girthy open worlds you can put your lips around, and it is absolutely packed full of stuff you can do, whether you're blowing people's heads off, which is insanely fun in this game, or just fishing or hunting or doing literally anything you could ever want to do in the Old West. This game has you covered. And if you want something a little more specific, there's probably a mod for it. Now, I've spent a lot of time here praising the story, and people love it. That's something you hear a lot. I mean, hell, there's whole hour-long videos analyzing it and just talking about it. But there is a multiplayer, and people really, really hate this multiplayer. Like, I'm telling you, people really hate the multiplayer and have since day one, but for me, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. As a matter of fact, I love this aspect of Red Dead so much that I'm gonna make it into a video of its own, so if you want to see me dress it up in a miniskirt and suck it off for 5 minutes, subscribe to not miss that, because everybody wants to see that, right? Anyway, it is literally in the title that I will keep this short, so in closing, you should 1000% play this game. Seriously, the game looks beautiful, and you can do just about anything. You can go fishing, you can play cards, or roleplay as a deranged, closeted serial killer who kidnaps men only to carry them off into the swamps to cream pie them in every hole.